Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Leafs Odyssey. I decided to start on the startup screen just because it occurs to me that, I kind of know what all these elements are now or whatever. Here's Leaf in the center, a little ferret, and then we've got a statue, we've got a bomb bug, we've got a flying snake, we've got a monster block with its crazy eyes on top or whatever, we've got an angry eye, we've got a slug. So those are the 6 main monsters. There's a key, there's plenty of keys, there's a toggle switch, there's plenty of mechanisms. We got some flowers, just showing off that there's random aesthetics that just distract from the puzzles. And then there's a sky that also doesn't have any clouds up here either. There's some clouds in the sky on the initial ridge. I guess we haven't seen a lot of sky really. I don't know. In any case, I'd never really kind of looked at the start screen very much or whatever, so I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate it for capturing the game's main elements. Okay, but in any case, last time I left off over here, I still have 3 green keys to spend, and the 4 major areas that branched out off after the initial puzzles each had a extra green section that my read of the overall campaign is basically, now that you've learned about every monster in the game, now here's a chance to go ahead and combine all the monsters in some of the different areas. So this was, Marsh was kind of the slug area, and so now it's slug plus other monsters. So, onlookers. That's where we will begin today. So, lots of angry eyes. So angry. Why are they so angry? These, I was just about to say, there's no way to kill both of these, because if this one kills this one, or vice versa, but there is a way to kill them. We can drop them in the water because they are sitting on toggle floors over water, and we have seen that we can toggle floors to open them up and drop things into the water. So that's how we get rid of those. Looks like Leaf is capable of killing every monster in here. Right now there are slugs that are self-contained in these little 4x4 clock thingies. And the trick will be not getting lasered by angry eyes while we try to pick off the slugs while they're in vulnerable positions before they get out and drip poison everywhere. I think that's my initial read. So let's go for it. So what I see at the beginning is you are vulnerable here. And then if I just hang out here, I don't think oh, the slugs need to be the ones pressing these. I was gonna say, I don't see a reason to leave the slug alive. But not only do I see a reason to keep the slug alive, but also I have to kill the north eyes first, so the slug will travel over here and die up here, and they're gonna be the ones to press this. I didn't notice these poison bits originally. Okay. This is the most vulnerable eye because I can dance in this north column without provocation by other eyes. This guy is guarded in every row and column outside of him, and so going after him first seems bad. Sorry that that's so loud. Oh, also, I did not consider that. I lasered a bunch of things I didn't mean to laser. Okay, this puzzle just got more complicated. This puzzle got a lot more complicated. So these guys and these guys are going to be shooting things I might not want them to shoot. There is no way for me to travel into the north half of the puzzle without killing either this eye or this eye, for example. Suppose I did carry out my initial plan, but I paid more attention to the moments that I was traveling to the north and made sure that any collateral damage was acceptable for some definition of acceptable. I need this slug to head to the north. This can go away. This cannot if the slug is still needing to turn around. And obviously the slug can't go away. So when the slug is here, is from this portion of the puzzle's point of view when I am okay traveling over here. And during that moment, is it also okay for me to travel over there? With respect to this slug? And the answer is not so much. Because this guy is about to die, which means this slug is then going to head south, and bad things are going to happen, and he won't be able to get where he needs to go. Let's ignore that for just a moment, and make sure some of the rest of my assumptions play out the way I imagine. So, will it be possible for me to get one of the slugs into what I perceive to be his final resting location? And the answer appears to be yes. Oops. The answer appears to be more careful before you say yes. Gosh, Slug, you're moving awfully slowly. Slug is like, that's my whole shtick. Don't you understand? Well, it's not my whole shtick. It's like half of his shtick. Half of it is moving slowly, and the other half is leaving poison trails. Okay, that said, sure enough, this can happen. So, I haven't thought about it, but the other possibility is me going up here. So suppose I go up here at an opportune moment as a way to try to get over here. Yeah, because going across the top, no eye is going to shoot another eye. Yeah, going across the top and the bottom, that's true. It's only going across the left and the right. And so if I shoot this guy at an opportune moment, and this guy, I do want to die for this guy to go up here. Yeah, it seems like going up the left-hand side is going to be better now that I'm reading it. So, is it safe to move up the left-hand side right now? It might be. Except for the fact that I just shot the slug. Maybe don't shoot the slug? How will I not shoot the slug? That might be easier said than done, honestly. If I wait one more cycle, the slug will be out of the way there, but now he's going to be in the way here. So in order for me to move from here to here, on one turn there will be a laser on this row. On the next turn there'll be a laser on this row. So I need the slug moving from here to here in between those two moments. That's the only possible time that I could move up the left-hand side. So here, that was like one turn too early, I think. So if I bump as a waiting move, no, it was one turn too late. So if I bump here, 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 the slug did move. Okay, the slug is still alive. Everybody's still alive. Everything is perfect. Everything is fantastic. Because now I can sit here and let slug number 1 accomplish his full mission. Slug number 2, nobody's gonna harm you. Let's go clean up some of these other mechanisms that no longer need to be around so that they won't harass. Oh! Slug number 2, nobody's gonna harm you. He says and immediately kills the slug. Okay, slug number 2. I just need to pick an appropriate moment to move back down to the south end of the puzzle. Actually, I could probably do better than that. It's gonna be awkward to get the timing right. Oh, also there's a slug trail over there, so I do need to go to the south end of the puzzle. Okay, so what do I need to do for slug number 2? All I need to do is wait until he is in the top of his top 2 of his 4 thingies, and then everything's fine. Great. Okay, now I can kill you. I can kill you. And now all I have to do is not kill the slug as I get around to the top eyeball. And to not kill the slug, All I have to do is wait until he's in the left column, like now, to walk by. And then, can I race him to the top over here? I think I can. Oops. Perfect. Alright. Slug is free to carry out his mission. I am free to carry out my mission. Everybody's mission is complete. Okay. That one was just fine. That was onlookers, by the way. And I just realized I forgot to take a screenshot of that one. So let me get the initial state of the puzzle on the screen so I can take my screenshot. Okay. Moving right along. Traffic controller. Okay. When I have previously been looking for hints about other puzzles, I have seen the name of this puzzle appear many times, which makes me worry. So what's going on in this puzzle? Traffic controller. There is one toggle switch that toggles many toggle floors that are all over water. So if something would be standing on them, they would be falling. And furthermore, there are other toggle doors that are currently open that will become closed. And then over here, there's a bug bomb on a pressure plate on a wooden floor. What's the pressure plate controlling? A single toggle floor. So all of the ones in this area are controlled by this. The bug bomb controls this one. Also, there is a statue. Are there any other monsters? And the slug, of course, because this is the slug area. So, 3 monsters. In order to kill the bug bomb, until he moves, which seems to involve Leaf traveling up here, which is a one-way trip due to the trapdoors, until he moves, this is never going to be open, closed, whatever. No one can traverse this way. Meaning, if Leaf is already here and Leaf cannot get back, the only ways for the bug bomb to die would be A, for a slime trail to be in front of him that he dies upon. I was going to say, or B, he gets like chased into the hot tile by a monster block, but there are no monster blocks. So there needs to be a slug traveling north here as Leaf is exiting the puzzle for this guy to ever die. Okay, so main challenge, get slug here. Thing that makes the main challenge more difficult, a statue exists. The statue needs to be awakened in order to be killed. In order to awaken the statue, the only sightline that Leaf can enter is here. As a result, there are trapdoors here and here which assume make things so that Leaf can only enter the puzzle once and then exit the puzzle once. There will be a statue chasing after him. Leaf is going to need to kill the statue by bumping into it, creating some rubble somewhere, which might be used to aid the turning of the slug. You getting all this, by the way? In order to facilitate the slug ending up going to the north. Leaf doesn't necessarily have to bump the statue. It's vaguely possible that the statue could end up here or here. It's kind of impossible to imagine the statue ending up here, given that it pursues Leaf so well. Here is vaguely plausible. If Leaf were to enter up here and then somehow get the statue pursuing behind him at the right moment and then sliding up here. No, I don't think he could ever get up here. So this is probably a trap for the slug to accidentally fall into, I'm guessing. I'm not sure why this exists. This is probably a trap for the slug to fall into that prevents the most obvious slug path of just making left turns here and then having a piece of rubble here, for example. Okay, I've done a lot of macro analyzing of the puzzle. let's just kind of play with it for a minute and see what other things I have not thought of. Which one of these two ways do I want the puzzle to be before Leaf enters? Suppose I left it in its initial state. My hunch is that... Oh, I don't have a choice, because I just realized that in addition to doing all the things the toggle does, it also unleashes the slug. Which means I have not 1, but 8 possible timings that I might hit this to have the slug be in one of its 8 possible initial states before I enter the puzzle. Fantastic. So there's 7 ways to possibly get this wrong from the outset, in addition to figuring out the rest of the puzzle. Okay, okay, so it has to be in this state while the slug is going to be in the field of play. So, how is the slug going to go? He's going to go here, he's going to make a left turn, he's going to exit, and therefore the puzzle's impossible. It's not true, because I could run in here, create statue rubble here, then the slug would be here, make a left turn, face down, make a left turn, face down, no, then he'd just be caught right here. After creating statue rubble, Leaf can exit and retoggle the doors after the slug is out. So the slug will actually be witnessing this, probably for most of the puzzle. So with this on the floor, can I put 1 piece of rubble that gets the slug here? In order for the slug to be heading north, he had to first be heading east, run into something, and make a left turn. There currently is nothing to run into in any of these 3 spots. Or possibly even some of these spots, depending upon the timing of when these 2 floors toggle their state. So I feel like I need rubble in the rightmost column. Is that even possible? Let's ignore the rest of the puzzle. Is it possible to get rubble in the rightmost column? The statue doesn't awaken until Leaf is in the middle, so yes, it is possible. For example, here, but I don't think I could get the slug coming this way in the first place using any of my known state. Where are... I'm just going to leave the rubble there for the moment. Given these 2 states of tiles, where are possible places the slug might wind up? If I open this door... Well, at the very beginning, he would go north and then turn back to the south. This is very hard for me to picture in my head. The slug is initially going to see this, and at some point it's going to change to this. So when the slug is initially looking at this, if he turned left here, he goes up here, he turns back around down here. I can already see that that's going to be unviable because he's going to be leaving a slime trail and Leaf is going to need to exit this way, and Leaf can't cross the slime trail. So I think very soon after the slug starts moving into the puzzle, it's going to have to have already changed to this. So, slug. There's nowhere to turn left anywhere, which implies rubble in the bottom column. The slug could also be blocked by the statue while the statue is still alive and moving. So for example, the statue began down here. The slug might get blocked by him, for example, here or here to make a left turn up here. And then get blocked again later. Oh my goodness. Alright, I spent a quiet couple of minutes looking at the puzzle to myself, and I think I have an idea that involves the statue being here to turn the slug to the north, the rubble ending up somewhere over here, I don't remember exactly where, Once the slug is going north, Leaf is going to exit and toggle the doors a few times so that the slug turns over here, walks over here, runs into the rubble, so I guess this is the rubble spot, and then turns north over here. So that's my plan. And so the crux of the plan involves getting the statue here just at the moment that it will turn the slug to the north. So let's just wait for the slug to begin his adventure and then figure out the moment that we need to run in to get the statue there. And I think I actually do need to be running in from the north. Except for I have to... After the slug is here, I have to switch it back to this state. Okay. So what happens if I run into the north now? It's already too late. Okay, so I did some waiting and I shouldn't have done any waiting, perhaps. Alright. Maybe I do run in from the south. I don't think that'll work though, but let's just try it. Okay, so the slug is here. I hit the toggle. I run inside. Does the slug turn? He does. Okay. Then... Yeah, okay, this works. Then I want the rebel here. And I think the puzzle is almost solved. Here's where the puzzle is not solved. I was planning to press a toggle switch already. I can still do it later. So now if I hit the toggle switch now... No. If I hit the toggle switch now... then we're mostly back into a state we've been in before. I can hit it again so we can continue to the north. I can wait for him to turn, toggle it like this, wait for him to turn again, wait for him to turn again, wait for him to turn here, toggle it like this. Oh, that was one too early. Wait, toggle. And now I need to run to the north so that the bug bomb will... I didn't run to the north. Okay, hold on. Oh, this was so good. Toggle. Run to the north so the bug bomb will trap... I didn't get the bug bomb to open up that space yet. And that takes a long time. So my solution doesn't quite work. And that makes me sad. Was there a way I could have done this differently? Well, probably yes, otherwise the puzzle would be unsolvable. I can't go up early to get the bug bomb off the pressure plate, because then Leaf can never return to toggle the other plates. But it definitely feels like Leaf needs to be here at this exact moment to do this toggle for the slug to ever get north to go up in there. But then there's no way to win the race. Huh. So maybe my entire strategy was wrong? That's a possibility. It's not a possibility I enjoy thinking about, but it's possible. Okay, let's back up for a moment. One step. If the slug is going north, then either the slug was already headed north and Leaf needs to be standing here at this moment to toggle the switch, in which case the puzzle doesn't work, as I've just discovered. Or the slug... The puzzle was already toggled into this state, and the slug made its left turn coming from here, or coming from here, or coming from here, and the rubble was here, here, or here. And since the first one doesn't work, I think it has to be one of the second ones. The question is, how could the slug ever be coming from one of these directions? One way that the slug could be coming from one of these directions is if it went here, I toggled this so he turned, I toggled this so he turned, I toggled this so he walks over. Then the slug could run into a piece of rubble that was right here. So I wanted the rubble 2 to the north of where it was. All right. I will hold down the undo button for a moment. It's hard to get the rubble here because, okay, so that's why the hot coals are in the corner, to make it hard to get the rubble there. Well, that's not very nice. Also, even if the hot coals were not here, after making rubble to the south, Leaf is incapable of escaping to the west because there is poison on that tile already. So that makes it double deadly for our hero. And therefore, the puzzle's impossible. So let's do this. Let's kill the statue here just because it is somewhere different. And then let's play around with what other places we can get the slug into. For example, I could toggle this, and now I can move the slug leftward this way. That doesn't help at all, because the slug is just going to end up kind of starting back around in this circle again. Is there any other way that I could have the slug do my bidding? Oops! Okay. There's a place that's bad for the slug, by the way. Okay, so if I need to get the slug farther north... actually, then I want to do... this. Okay, this is the way to get the slug all the way to the north again. And then if I toggle things this way... you'll come over here, sure, but this is now where I really need the rubble 1 to the north of where it is. And if instead here I'd sent you farther back to the south, there's no way for you to make the left turn. I see one other interesting place for the rubble all of a sudden. What if the rubble were here, enabling the slug to then make a left turn here, and a left turn here? Well, the rubble's not also here. I was going to say, because that's what I was originally trying to... And it has to be one of these spots, because Leaf can't toggle these to get around this. The slug's trying to go in here. Only way to go in here involves making a left turn here, or a left turn here, or a left turn here. And the slug is never coming this way, so it's not a left turn here. So it has to be here or here. And here it can't be, because there's no way for you to be coming this way, because there's nothing to stop you here. Unless you could be coming south this way to get stopped right here, but there's no way to ever be coming south this way. So this rubble has to go here. But it's impossible to get the rubble there. Is it impossible to get the rubble there? The only way to get the rubble there is for the statue to be in this column and Leaf to be standing here. So yeah, it's impossible. And therefore the puzzle's impossible. So thinking about the puzzle on my own, I did think of one other thing that I'm pretty sure is not useful. But it's another thing I haven't done, which is if I kill a statue on a tile like this, I could then just dunk it in the water. But that basically... oh. I was gonna say that basically just makes it another water tile, and I was already able to toggle it between a blocking tile and a non-blocking tile, but that is not the case. Okay. Have I seen this mechanic before? Yes, in one of the original statue puzzles. I killed statues in the water and they became stepping stones. It's in my journal. Also, I have something new in my journal. Hold on. Angry Eyes. Angry Eye dies in water. Angry Eye got dropped into the water in the previous puzzle that we just saw earlier in the episode, and it died. Okay, sure. Yeah, statues. It's been a while since I have done any statues. Statue becomes a stepping stone if killed in water. There was an entire puzzle like devoted to that. I had to kill a bunch of statues and make a bunch of stepping stones. This definitely changes the puzzle space for me, especially... especially where? If the slug were somehow coming this way, then the problem I had is Leaf had to toggle this to keep it going north. And if I had the statue dead here and there was a stepping stone here, it could continue to the north. Alright. So the only issue, if I get... which of these two? Actually, I want him coming here, so I want the statue to die right here, actually. I'm going to leave my cursor there so I see it. And I don't think much else will matter. I can't have it die there. Because it's going to be in this... No, I can. I just have to wait for the slug to cross. Then I can toggle it again. And now I can cause the statue to die on that square. I had a cursor and then I made moves. No, I want the statue to die here, so I do want that to be a floor. Okay, so... One more time. Sorry. In order to kill the statue here, however, I will need to be farther to the north. Got it? Let's ignore the slug. We can save him later. The statue can cross the water. Which is the other aspect of the puzzle where I killed a bunch of statues in the water to make stepping stones. I was expecting him to stop right there. I don't think this is going to solve the puzzle for me. It's possible that that will solve the puzzle for me. Is there a way for Leaf to kill the statue... on that square somehow? I don't think that's ever possible. So maybe I do want the statue to die there, and maybe it is still possible to solve. So if the statue is going to die there, then... Okay, let's just go try to do it. I didn't do it fast enough with the slug, so let's make sure the slug is as slow as possible. So I want to wait until the slug has just decided to go north. Then I'm going to run in here. Wait an interminable amount of time for the statue to get there. No, that didn't work. Could I have run in from the south entrance? Hold on. I was running in the north entrance because I felt like I needed to be north of the statue, but that's silly. Because the statue doesn't wake up until now. And so I can definitely be ahead of him. There we go. And then I can exit out here. And then I have plenty of control over the slug, question mark, in order to get the slug to make a left turn, and then make a north turn, and then continue to the north, and continue to the north. No! That's a bad place to continue. Don't continue to the north there. Why would you do that, slug? Do you want to die? Do you have a death wish? What's going on with you? Okay, so then the slug is going to make a left turn. How am I ever getting the slug? I wanted to get the slug here, and then turning here, and then turning here. Because recall that there's a stepping stone underneath this. Yes, stepping stone underneath this. But is there a way for me to ever get the slug up here now? I think I lost my opportunity to ever get the slug up here now. So there's another complication. Okay. Previously, I also had the slug bumping into the statue, so that it got turning in a particular direction at the start of the puzzle. Maybe that is still the case. So in case it is... Well, this has me toggling things again, hold on. This has me doing this and this. So if I do that, and then the problem with this... Oh, even if the floor is not toggled, so that there is not water to the south of me, I could still kill the statue here, who is currently a pile of rubble, who in the future can become a stepping stone once I drop it in the water. And the problem with that is I missed my brief opportunity to have the slug be in one of the positions I wanted the slug to be in. Yeah, I did things not good when the slug ran into the statue. I want him to run into the statue. Oh, I can't do that? Hold on. So, if I open now, wait for the slug to get on, toggle it, run in here. The first place I could turn the slug is here. Don't feel like I have time to do the things I want to do, because I have to wait there. Yeah, and now the slug is turning left and he's getting out of the good zone for me to ever get him. No, I never got him. I need him to get into... I need him going north here or going north here so that he'll eventually be able to turn here and then turn here and then turn here. I have to get the slug onto one of these two going north. Oh, I can get him going north here. Okay, this still works, because I can catch him while he's going to the south and do this toggle. So now, slug... No, that does not work. This one will turn him back to the north in this column, which is no good. This one turns him to the north in this column, which is also no good. I need him going north in this column, or going north in this column. Okay, I think I maybe see something, which is before I go waking up the statue, I can probably get the slug going somewhere in the puzzle that is harmless, that gives me more of a head start on the slug. So, I can't let the slug turn north, because if he does... No, actually I can. Because if he turns north and then I toggle it like this, then he's just going to turn around up here and then very slowly make his way back down to the beginning state of the puzzle. And that's actually exactly what I know, because he's going to leave a slime trail. Right. Okay, so that doesn't work. So I need the slug coming in at least this far. And then, if he turned here and turned here, then he'd be going back to the initial state of the puzzle, but I would have a head start on him. So that's probably what I want. So if I open this up and let him make a turn here, now I have the opportunity to run back into the puzzle, but now I'm like 10 steps ahead of the slug. And that is what I want. And in particular, now I have the opportunity to turn the slug to the north. Like this. Sorry. Like this. Sorry. Like this. There we go. I turn the slug to the north. Can I still kill the statue here? Yes. Now I have time to make it out of the puzzle in front of the slug. He is still alive. But I needed him to turn south in that moment. For reasons that I don't remember right now, but I'm sure they were important. I was very close though. Okay, so is there a way that I could have done this quicker? I have to kill you from the north. The reason I need the slug to turn south now is because he's going to eventually take the path here, here, and then here. Which doesn't necessarily look like it's possible, but it's totally possible if I'm toggling the toggles. So... was there a way to make this go any faster? I mean, no, I have to wait for the statue. Could I kill the statue on this one? Hold on. Maybe I can kill the statue on this one, I don't remember. I might be able to kill the statue on that one, I can't remember right now. So let's try that really quick. That enables me to get the slug to turn south here. Then the slug can start going on his merry way. I will turn this so that he makes a right turn. And then I'll toggle this. Yes, and now he's headed in the right direction. I have plenty of time to go in front of the bug bomb. So it does work with the rubble there. Bug bomb, that's as far as you need to go for the moment. Actually, you can go up as far as that. But now wait patiently for your slug friend to leave a poison trail in front of you so that I can kill both of you like that. And solve the room. Okay. This is a good puzzle, except the last time... I was going to say the last time I killed a statue in the water to make a stepping stone, but I think it also might be the last time I've played with a statue. It was like a week ago. No, there were statues in the Hot Coals underground region. So it's just that I forgot that a statue could make a stepping stone in the water. And I don't like puzzles where the trick of the puzzle is forgetting about an essential mechanic that you actually do already have in your journal. And so once again, this is an example of practice. I used statues to create stepping stones on like 2 puzzles in a row, like a week ago, and then I've hardly touched statues since, and so it just... I forgot that that was a thing. Yeah. I'm of a little bit of 2 minds of that, because there's definitely an advantage to the... aha, here's a little used mechanic that you may have forgotten about that ends up being a linchpin to a puzzle. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. Again, I just feel like I wish I... There have been many puzzles where I've been tripped up by the fact that all of the mechanics are new to me. And I have only experienced many of the mechanics on 1 or 2 screens. And if I had more practice, I would be more likely to be successful at the puzzles. Yeah. Apart from remembering that was a mechanic, this was a good, interesting puzzle. Alright. Enough criticisms. Moving along. Take aim. Ice. I like ice. Angry eyes. I like angry eyes. Slugs. I don't really like the slugs. It's not that I dislike the slugs, I'm just bad at them. So, you are aimed at a thing that's going to do a thing over here. I have some pushable blocks. I need to give them a rightward shove and then follow them a little bit, because there's hot coals here for some reason. Also, once I do that... actually, hold on. Let me... before I do anything else. I don't have to follow you. But if I did follow you, then we'd end up hitting that thing, which... Wait, what happened there? The toggle switch itself is on a trapdoor? Toggle floor? And the switch itself fell into the water. So here's another thing I don't like about the puzzle design in this game. There are surprise mechanics like that, that if one were looking extremely closely at the pixel art, I could determine that this was sitting on a toggle floor, or I could hover it and get it on a toggle floor. But that is not something that I ever expected would be a mechanic, And I was just about to spend like 5 minutes analyzing the puzzle from this state without doing anything, and until I have done this thing, I would never have anticipated that, and so I would have just wasted 5 minutes of my life if I didn't decide to run in here and do this. And so I think you need to prep the player by showing them that this is even a possible thing to think about, or otherwise make it more visible that there is a trapdoor here, maybe by adding 9 more trapdoors around here that are otherwise meaningless or something, so that I would even notice that, so that I don't waste my time thinking about the puzzle without even realizing that this is a thing that is going to happen. Because it seems like that's probably an important thing, and I haven't even read the rest of the state of the room, but that was so incredibly surprising. And you can't have a surprise like that happen after you've analyzed the room and then discovered that it's a new mechanic. So I don't like the puzzle design here. Okay, having said that, what's happening in this room? What does the switch even do? It toggles this. The slug needs to die. Is it possible for Leaf to put a block here so the slug could die over here? Presumably not, and that's the whole reason that any of this exists, but let's just try it really quick. Yeah, despite the fact that the slug is slow. Actually, oh! Another unexpected mechanic. I'm glad I'm playing with the room. This mechanic is completely expected. I just did not anticipate it, but I've seen all of these mechanics before. I've seen sliding ice, I've seen pushing blocks into the water and having them become stepping stones, but it just didn't occur to me that that was going to happen. I was thinking it was going to stop at the edge. This is a problem I've noticed. This is a problem with me and not with the puzzle. But there are cliffs or walls is one type of obstacle that most things cannot traverse. There are pits. That is another type of obstacle that most things cannot traverse, but some things can fall into and disappear forever. And there is water. That is another type of obstacle that most things cannot traverse, but statues and flying snakes can wade through them or fly over them. And that blocks can fall into and make stepping stones. And for whatever reason, I tend to group all 3 of those things as wall-like obstacles in my first parse, and don't consider the fact that they are all distinct walls, pits, and water. And I don't know what I need to do differently, other than, again, I think if I had more practice with the differences of each of those 3, I would have internalized those differences better than I have thus far in the puzzle game. And so each time one of the interesting aspects of those 3, I guess cliffs and walls don't have interesting aspects, it's just the water and pits. Each time water and pits are in a puzzle, they tend to surprise me. And it's because I haven't had enough practice with them. Okay. Great. So, this slug, despite being slow, I was trying to determine if there's ever a way for me to get a block in the little cubby hole where the slug... Why can't Leaf just kill this? Aren't I done with the puzzle? How do I kill the angry eye? I have to kill the angry eye. That's the puzzle. The slug is not the puzzle. The angry eye is the puzzle. How do I kill the angry eye? He's on a toggle switch. Which, once again, I did not see. Toggle floor, closed. And there is a pressure pad here, which I did not see. Yeah, there's definitely... I've talked to Alex about many visual issues with this game. Drod. I've never played Drod on my channel. Alex has played lots of Drod. I've watched lots of Drod by Alex and a couple other people. Drod is another puzzle game. Deadly Rooms of Death. Drod is an acronym. Starring Beethro Budkin as our hero. And it has very similar trapdoor toggle switch wiring mechanisms that you mouse hover to highlight and understand how they are hooked up to one another. And as a viewer of the puzzle, especially as someone viewing video of a Let's Play, unless the player actually goes and moves their mouse and highlights things, there are hidden mechanisms here that there is no way for the viewer of the video to discover. So you are relying on me entirely to show you how these different things are wired up, because they're not visible on screen otherwise. And furthermore, if I, the player, fail to do that, then the puzzle is going to be completely unsolvable, because there's hidden mechanisms here that I haven't even realized are here. Having a mess of wires that's always on screen, that shows how the different switches and toggle pressure plates and toggle floors or whatever are connected. I understand that would be a mess to have the wires on screen all the time, but there is a visual problem here. And I'm not sure what the right solution is. Yeah, and admittedly, I got distracted by all of the things I'm calling out as potential design issues at the beginning of this room to discover I have to kill 2 bad guys, and this is the hard bad guy to kill, and realizing that he's the hard bad guy to kill makes the toggle floor underneath him much more visible, because there's no other possible way to kill him. Actually, that's not true. Originally, before I saw the toggle floor, I was thinking somehow I'm going to have to like push these, whatever these things are, blocks to make stepping stone tiles to walk over to him, which is not going to work for a variety of reasons, I realize now, but that was my original gut instinct. So yeah, trapdoors not visible to me. This one was not visible. This one was especially not visible. A small amount of it is the color contrast because it's green against blue, which my vision is not super great at, but a larger amount of it is that it's so few pixels when it's being obscured by the thing on top. And so maybe trapdoors need to like paint over, that's not great. Yeah, there are issues. Another thing that Drod has, I'm sorry, we're not going to be solving any more puzzles in this episode, by the way, because now I'm just going off on design rants. Another thing that Drod has in certain rooms is I forget what it's called. There's like an eyeball tile that you can hover that kind of like lights up a bunch of things in the room where you need to see through multiple layers of the room, and like the topmost layer becomes transparent so you can see what's underneath it. Or like when I highlight this, it shows this mechanism, but I still completely missed that both of these are special tiles as well. Like if there was something over here that I could highlight that would just show all of the mechanisms at once, this actually might be a good idea. I'll have to think about it more. Or another possibility is the first time you walk into the room, possibly if the room is still uncleared, there is 1 second where the game accepts no keyboard or controller input and instead does an animation where all of the mechanisms light up on the screen, and maybe all the monsters too in a different color or something, to call the eye's attention to what is on the screen and is important. Could be good. There may be, this is my opinion, there may be other people who enjoy not seeing something that's basically like, where's Waldo? And having to find Waldo at the beginning of the puzzle to say, oh, here's Waldo, it's a trapdoor right here. Oh my gosh, I feel so silly. I've spent 10 minutes looking for it. So there may be people who enjoy that. I definitely do not enjoy that, and so I'm coming from that set of opinions about what makes good puzzle design, but other people might have other opinions about that. But I would love to see the essence of the puzzle and all of its mechanics at once at the beginning of the puzzle, so that from this state, in theory, I could solve the puzzle if my brain were good, though in practice I very much always appreciate being able to have the game do the puzzle simulation for me and help me discover other interactions that I did not consider, like that one. Look, I pushed a block and it didn't go flying off because it ran into the slug. Isn't that interesting? I did not anticipate that, even though I know all of those mechanics. And so that is a value of having the game simulation, and then I can undo to back up and try a slightly different variation of what I just did, which could be good. So it's great that I can play with the puzzle, but I also think it would be great if I could anticipate the puzzle. And right now, this game is exceedingly good at helping me simulate the puzzle and undo and redo and peek at the initial state and be able to see the entire map and all that kind of stuff. And it's not great at letting me see the entire state of the puzzle at the beginning. Okay, I've said my piece. I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Leafs Odyssey. For now, bye-bye.